Started.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Gauri from Team Baatein. So today we have with us, as you all know, Gajesh Victory. So Gajesh is a graphic designer, illustrator and a design strategy student based in Nagpur. An alumnus of NID, he is the founder of Studio Modak. He is the founder of Studio Modak, a creative agency specializing in branding, packaging and illustration. Gajesh has collaborated with prominent brands such as Unilever, Pepsi, Netflix, Food, the Leela Hotels, Mastercard, and Closer. He's got stories, insights, and some serious design wisdom to share. So I'm sure you got questions. Bring them all because we have all the answers, I'm pretty sure. So yes, without wasting a lot of time, let's move on to the session.
Thank you, Gauri. Hello everyone. I'm Gajesh. Sorry for the little delay and the change in it's on right?
No.
The board might be. But I can write a little. Yeah? Okay. Sorry. So I'm not very confident. But I think we might not need the. You don't need it.
For the.
We need it for the life.
It's kind of.
Anyways, hello everybody, I'm Gajesh Victory. Today I'm going to share a lot more apart from like my work, what I generally do. I keep on posting my work on LinkedIn, Instagram, on Behance, like a lot of documented projects. We are working on our website, so a lot of things are going to launch there also. So today I'm going to talk about something very different from what I generally do, which is the design philosophy which I've been following, my upbringing of where I came from, how I got into this field, what changed me, what changed my life, and what all I've been doing. So I hope, apart from my work, my journey also inspires you a little, because I do feel like that is something that I rarely have shared with people. So that is the point of focus for today for me. Gauri, I think the laptop will see that screen that they can So the name of my talk today is The Joy of the Process. It's basically the lessons from my journey till now. There's a lot to do, of course, but I hope till now whatever I've done in life, little bits and pieces will inspire you a little. So hello everybody, my name is Gajesh Victory. I'm an artist, designer and founder of Studio Modak. It's me with a few of my students from Baatein NID, Avantika actually. I've been visiting a lot of colleges, so it's a little difficult to keep track at times. Supposed to be a professor now, and I teach branding, packaging, illustration, and a little bit of philosophy at times. I talk a lot more about life, nature, love, parents, birds, and a lot more. I think you'll see that eventually. You'll also know why I keep on talking about these things and how these things inspire the work that I do through a lot of personal projects, commercial projects, etc. So, some people who have found my work to have a soul. These are some of the people from my clientele, from my networking, who have found my work to have a little bit of soul and some beauty and some meaning. Of course, why I put their pictures is because I think a few of them, many of them have inspired me since I was a kid or I was a teenager. But more than that, I think the people who really made my work spread across India is the people of India. And that has really truly shaped my journey. I think I have always been designing for people and designing for their stories. So yeah, so some of them here. Then this is the portfolio of Studio Modak till December 2024. Studio Modak is my studio. We started 8 months back. And we have been working with clients across India, across different departments. So I was at Pool, I was working for the incense and the gifting category. And after 2.5 years of building something, I think I had this thing that I don't want to stick to one particular category, and I would want to get into every category that I can get into, not just incense. And that's when I decided to start my own studio. And the journey has been fantastic. We have had very interesting clients from ITC to Pepsi to the Ambani family, etc. And there are many more stories coming in future. I think when I talk about the collection, I'll also tell you about the stories of all these clients. So today I'm here to share not just my work, but the philosophy that guides it. I, technically speaking, I come in under Gen Z, 1995 to 2005 was basically Gen Z. So of course, like every other Gen Z, I have a lot of mental health issues, and I overthink a lot. So that's how I wake up every day. I wake up and scream, and this is exactly like I'll be as honest as I can in this presentation. But yeah, so there are multiple things. So apart from handling what I do, there's also this side where I try to take care of my mental health as much as I can. And I think I'll try to shed some light there as well. Moving on. So chapter number 1 of my text today is leaving your ideas abandoned. Everybody here is a designer, artist, creative person in general, I guess. Yeah? All of you? Fantastic. So I want to ask you all a question. How many of you times have you given up on an idea because it didn't seem to work out the way you planned? Always, like, the work of the project or commercial project, any client project or any assignment. You actually have this beautiful, beautiful idea, a thought in your head that this is how you want to work on this particular brief. And you have this vision of something. This is how it should be eventually. But then when you start this energy, fresh energy. That's how creatives generally work when they have this passion for creating things. And then what happens is you are working on things, you are exploring, then it's not coming the way you want it to come. It's just, that vision, it's not coming the way exactly how it is there in your head. And then what do? We abandon it. We call it procrastination. Has it ever happened to you? Whatever I have ever described? Pakka? Yes. Can you get the hands up of how, like, everybody happened with everybody? Is there anybody, because I'm new, I know it never happened with them? If there is, I would love to talk to you. Okay, so perfect. So, one is abandoning ideas. We all do it. Behind thinking this isn't worth it. This isn't coming the way I wanted it to come. This just isn't working out, and then we just abandon it or we procrastinate on it. Sometimes, and there is sketchbooks in your iPads in your because there are a lot of projects which are half done or 20% done, and then I've never touched it, and then you grow in your journey, and then you look back and you're like, oh, it's there, it's just standing there, and then you just abandon that beautiful idea which was so important in your head, right? Today I'm just going to try to, make you maybe understand how do we avoid not doing that. So I'm just going to give you a very different analogy for this thing now. Imagine you're on a road trip. You all have gone for a road trip or a journey or a trip anywhere. All of you. It's a flat tire. Or any other issue which makes your car stop at a location. Would you abandon the car on the journey? Would you just leave your car there? Let's say you're going to Jaipur, Udaipur is close, right? Yeah, so you're going to Udaipur by road, through a bus, by a bus or a car or something, and then the engine is spoiled, and then you decide that, okay, I don't want to do anything with it, I'm just going to like walk to the location, or just figure something else out. We don't abandon our vehicle. What we do is, we try to ask for help. If we know how to repair a flat tire or how to repair the engine, either we do it or we try to find help. Never abandon the vehicle. Worst scenario, you are there and then it's like midnight, it's very shady, and that's when you try people so that you can leave the car there and next day you can drive. But most of the times, we don't abandon it. So, do we abandon our ideas so quickly? The connection is a little tricky. car, abandoned car, and abandoned ideas. But I think eventually the realization will connect the dots. So the truth is, ideas like journeys aren't perfect. They'll never be perfect. Journeys are never perfect. You have your itinerary ready. You have time with your friends that this is where we'll go, this is what we'll buy, this is what we'll eat, these are the places that we'll explore. You have everything ready. But does it always go like that? No matter if you have the itinerary ready or not, the journey is always going to surprise you with a lot of things. That happens, right? A lot of you, I'm very sure, are not from Ahmedabad, have come from different places here at NID, GLS, UID, right? You might have had a different idea of NID like before you were coming here. Is it the same now? It was very different for me. I'm very sure it might be the same for you. And that's the thing that happens with every journey and destination. So, the truth is, ideas like journeys aren't perfect. It's not going to be the way you plan it to be. There is patience, there is a lot of patience. You have to stick to that particular thing. You need to be patient with your ideas. You need to be persistent. You have to just get going. Like journeys. You find people who might plan it with their friends or family or any other interest and industry that you need. People are not going to be always so easy to travel with or live with. That happens, right? And then you go on this trip and the people are annoying who are traveling with you. They're not hygienic, not letting you explore. Do you abandon the trip and come back home to the area or whatever? What happens? If the place is not good, you'll be like, no, I food items. If that is also not good, I'll go explore the people because the people seem very warm and welcoming. If that is also not good, I'll go explore the culture of the place. Anything goes wrong, you try to find another escape. ये भी करके देखता हूँ. I try this also, I try that also, I try that also. That is persistence. That is adaptability. Your ideas require the same things. It's not always going to be that smooth how you imagine it to be. So most importantly, adaptation. So learning from this chapter is that patience, persistence, discipline, and most importantly, adaptation. Do you have any questions for this? Pakka? Anything, any thoughts? Wonderful. I think I'm very good at it. Chapter number 2, the upbringing which turned me into a curious artist. Here I become a little vulnerable with all of you. This part of me I rarely share out there. I think I've only been sharing my projects and the story behind it and whatnot. But I think here I will tell you about where I started, how I started, and what really shaped me. So the farms and farmlands, you know what I mean by that. The cows and goats, the people who wake up at 4 a.m. and my mother who gave me direction. So this part of this presentation is very personal. Growing up, I wasn't a traditional student. I wasn't very good at studies. Never been. I was a student. My parents both are teachers. My mother used to teach language and social studies, history, geography, civics, etc. My father was mathematics and science. Both of them are teachers, professors. I wasn't that. The entire family actually had a background in education. And I loved sharing stories as a kid. I used to do monologues, dressing up as Shivaji or somebody else, and then I don't know what we were doing there, but yeah. And you notice how all of them are so lost. They actually still are. Even I am. I think we are all trying to figure out. So, moral of the story is I wasn't a very traditional student. I couldn't do education nicely. In fact, whenever I used to prepare for exams also, what I used to do was, I used to draw and then memorize a certain thing. So if there's a chapter in history which I need to memorize about, I'll draw the entire scene, and that's how I got into drawing. Because I couldn't do without pictures, I couldn't do books without pictures. How many of you can't do like books without pictures? It's still the case for me. It's so difficult, right? It's just, why? I've always been that. And that happens with most of the books, like academics. That's a good problem statement for all the designers. So I couldn't do. So yeah, that was there. In fact, for over a year, because I was a very problematic kid, I was actually a school bully. I used to beat up a lot of kids. I used to do that. I don't look like that right now, but I used to do that. So I got expelled out of my school when I got into a very big fight when I was like very small. So my mother took me to her school, which was like a Zilla Parishad school. What a Zilla Parishad school is basically, you go to all these rural or village areas and then you see like these small schools with like mitti or gobar ka, like cow dung coated things. And then you don't have tables or anything there. Okay? Sometimes not even light. My mother used to teach there. She was a teacher in a Zilla Parishad school, so she used to take me there. And then she took me to her classroom and she treated me like one of her students. She never treated me like her son. But I think this one thing is the best thing that she did for me. Kind of, grounded me. I think I was surrounded by all these kids who were not, I was surrounded by these kids who were not that, privileged, not at all privileged. Kids of farmers, kids of people who belong to very marginalized communities. And I went to the farms and farmlands with them. I used to, I also learned how to put cow dung on the walls to, decorate it and then use tuna to paint on it and all that. So I had a very, very, very humble beginning, I'll say. And I think that made me very close to nature and farms and farmlands and animals and whatnot. Then for another 6 months, I stayed home. Hello. So I'll hold it like this. So then for another 6 months, I stayed home. Our neighbors were incredibly kind. They used to take care of me because both my parents were working. So one of the neighbors, he was a sculptor. And he used to make all these idols for like Ganesha and Durga, etc. And then one fine day, he just handed me like a ball of clay, like a small ball of clay. And then he was just like, do whatever you want to do with it. Just don't disturb me. Because he was also an artist. And we all know when somebody gets in your zone, it's just, you don't want to interact with them. It's the same thing with him. And I think I was a kid, right? Kids see and they do. So I saw him doing all these things and I just used to try to replicate what he's doing. Making idols or making whatever he was making. And that's when, as I tried to shape the clay, I found joy in creating something from nothing. Like imagine, as a kid, you're painting, you're making something, and then something comes out, and then so many people around you, adults, everybody comes, and they're like, wow, this is so good, this is so nice, and then it boosts you up, right? And for the first time in my life, people are actually appreciating, kind of saying something nice about what I was doing. Because I told you I was not a traditional kid, I was a bully. Everything I did always created ruckus or problems. For the first time, people appreciated it. So I felt beautiful. It boosted my confidence. And I think it was my first lesson in art, and I think that's how I started my creative journey. So nowadays also sometimes I sculpt. This was a series of keychains that I made using like a air dry clay. This is the weekend. There's Harry Styles, there's like a lot of people. My mother was very, she never understood why I'm carrying all these like silver heads in my, so all my like keychains were like this. This is like a non-painted one. You'll see like a painted one on my profile. But yeah, that was like my introduction, like a proper introduction. This habit of exploring materials, because that was not the first material that I explored. Now what I used to do, clay I've explored. I used to paint. I told you that I learned how to put cow dung on the walls and then paint using tuna and all that. How many of you have had that kulfi? They put like a bamboo stick and then they remove it and then, yeah, you all had it, right? And those sticks are very interesting. They're like bamboo sticks, right? So early 2000s when I was like 5, 6, we had this kulfi wala in our locality. And what I used to do is go to him and collect all the kulfi sticks that I can. I used to do it for days during the summer because we also have vacations. So I used to collect all of them and just try to make stuff out of it. So in our front yard, there was like a lot of mitti. So I used to just put the sticks there, make like a small bed out of all these sticks, or make like a small hut, and explore that also. Whatever I got my hands on, dried leaves of plants and whatnot. In fact, one fine day when I got beaten up so bad because you know what I collected. Have you seen goat का waste जो छोटे से like ये क्या है? This looks interesting. So I collected that and then I made like a portrait out of it. And where did the inspiration come from? You remember Matt? Rob? He's also from NID. He used to do all these things. I don't get that fancy stuff here. Whatever I see, basically Ishana Asti. Have you seen that? And that's when my parents realized, oh, okay, my son also might have something. Never got the Ram Shankar Nikum of my life, but yeah, kept on exploring random things in life, okay? But that habit of exploring materials, no, it came a long way. We have been exploring materials as students here to do assignments. These are not assignments for me. This was curiosity. This was like, this is something, and this I can maybe create something out of that, and this is kid. There's no wrong, right? There's no grades. There's no somebody judging you. You're just like in your corner doing things. And I think because of these things also, I've never had friends as a kid. So I used to do random things. But now, because I enjoyed the process of making something tangible out of nothing, it helped me as a designer. So whatever material we are exploring right now in college, I have been doing that since I was 4. So it's not like, when I came here, it felt like a magical world because like you get all these tools, you get actual tangible materials that you can work with, right? Not that I'm picking anything I find on the street and then trying to make something out of it, right? So now because I know that foundation, because I've been doing that since so long and it became like a habit, like how we brush teeth or how we have to take shower every day, creating something every day out of nothing became a habit. And then that helped me a lot during like all the projects that I do today. So we designed the diyas, we designed the jars, we designed the playing cards. There's nothing that I felt like I can't design. I'm a visual designer by degree. But if you can come up with a brief and I feel like, okay, this is something that I would want to explore, and it is something that I can maybe put my hands on and just do without thinking how it's going to be, I think I can achieve it because I've been doing that since I was a kid. So learning. Now what is the learning out of this chapter? There are multiple learnings. Learning number 2 is, we have had learning number 1. Creation doesn't mean you stick to one and only one thing. This is my personal opinion, okay? Opinions, people have different. This is my personal one. So don't just be a painter or just a singer or a dancer. If you're a creator, no? I feel like we should try everything. Every material, every dance form, art form, singing, you want to try singing. Because I feel like, I'm going to say a very cliche thing. You get this life once. You thought that maybe you're good at this and everybody is appreciating, that's why you're meant to do this. But what if there is something else that is waiting for you in which you can actually excel? You might not be that good at in that particular thing right now, at that moment. But you have to keep on trying, feel at it, and then understand, and then maybe. But I understood one thing. Never do something which people say that you are good at. That I've understood over time. Because I was also good at a lot of other things. Not studies, but a lot of any other things that there are. So if you're a creator, you must try to explore every creative field, feel at it, but at least try. You have to try. The real art is making people feel love, anger, sadness, happiness. And for that, you just need to create. You just need to keep on creating. Learning number 3 is, it should never be about grades actually. Yeah. I know it's difficult. It should never be about grades, you know. It should be about discovering what truly excites you. And I think we're losing that nowadays. How many of you know that you know something that truly excites you? Like that something you're truly passionate about or something that makes your eyes glimmer with passion. You know? Yet? Anybody? Anybody? Whatever it is. Fantastic. Wonderful. Anybody else? Yeah. Yeah, you want.
Theatre.
Theatre? Are you doing it?
I try to whenever I get the time.
Okay, but are you doing anything here in NID right now?
About theatre?
Yeah?
Not really.
We should, yeah. Because we don't have a lot of things that we're doing for theatre here. We have had scale. Are you doing whatever? Yeah. It excites you? Oh, oh, that's fantastic, dude. And how's it going for you? Yeah. You should. Yeah, Shruti.
Dance, singing.
Dance? You're doing it? Yeah? How does it make you feel?
Alive.
Wonderful. Anybody else with any other answer? Very nice. Taking care of animals. Photography. Wonderful.
Walking on roads.
Walking on roads. Very nice. Yeah. It's a very good one. Yeah.
Poetry.
Poetry. Cooking. Very nice. Yes.
Music.
Music. Yeah. Wonderful. Video editing. Very nice. You know why I asked them these questions? I'm going to ask you another question. Do you create better art when you do these things, or do you create better art when you don't do these things?
When we do these things.
Because you are in your space, you feel that's like therapy for you. And that's why that passion is so important. Something that takes away any feeling that is taking over your head or heart or anywhere else. It's just that thing, that takes it away. It makes you calmer, it makes you happier, it makes you nicer. And then when you're like that, when you're calm, you create better. You can question me if I'm wrong. That's true. You feel good like taking care of dogs and animals and all that. You like walking on the roads. What exactly does it like? Why? I want to know. I think a lot of people might want to know.
I always tend to find very beautiful stories when I'm walking on the road. Like I can share one. Recently I was walking on the road. It was dark at night. There was this girl who was a balloon seller's girl, and she was playing near a puddle which was made near a gutter. So she was playing there, and then her mom scolded her, and she went to her. And for a brief moment, in between the path when she was going, she turned around and she saw her footsteps. And she got so happy. And I recently converted that into a 5-minute story.
I was going to ask you what do you do? I always do communication design. And what's your major?
I am in foundation, but I think I'll take animation.
It explains. But I do that, whenever I'm feeling low about myself. I do that so that I can see the world, I can see the society, and somehow it makes me feel grateful for the life that I have. That is my purpose of walking on the street. But I get you, I think for a lot of inspiration for what I do also, I go around, and that's a beautiful story. Right? And after that walk, I think you feel lighter, you feel better. And then I think creating is nicer, yeah? That is the point basically. I'm not going to extend it a lot more. I think we all understand that. So, this is for teachers, and I'm very sure not a lot of teachers are here, but you guys are going to become educators someday. So I also feel teachers must encourage creative students to try drama, speeches and competitions and whatnot, like every other activity that they're not comfortable about. We have been using these terms introvert, ambivert, extrovert. I'm telling you, it's a trap that society has put you into. I'm not asking you to change your behavior or the way you talk to people or how you are, okay? But I feel like sometimes when we term ourselves as introverts or something of that sort, we might hold ourselves back from something that you were supposed to do in this life. Feel it, what will if people will laugh, it's fine. They're sitting in the audience, you're the one holding the mic. But you have to go try, because if you don't, and if you never touch that particular thing and then it never becomes yours, you'll regret it later, trust me. Learning number 4, life is constantly changing. Nothing is, the same always. Nothing's gonna be the same always. And the joy of creation doesn't lie in what we achieve, but is in the process itself. Understand this. I'll give you one example. You start working on some project, anything, some artwork, anything. Anything can happen in life. Personal issues, professional issues, friend ka issues, whatever you're using, uska issue, material ka issue, any issue can happen at any point. So life is constantly changing. That's why we need to understand how to enjoy that journey and adapt. Because if you're only carrying out the destination and something happens here, you're gonna go all mad and berserk, and you're gonna be like, oh God, I didn't expect this. And then when you expect that destination is gonna be like that, it should be like that, and something little also happens here, no? It kills your motivation to work on that. That's why I understand that life is changing. Learn and try to adapt. Not expect. I hope that makes sense. The outcome may not last forever, but the experiences, memories, and lessons stay with us. And that's what we need to focus on. And that's when we'll be happy. We'll be creating things which actually make a lot of sense for us and the people. Now, I share a few of the projects and I share a little bit of story behind. Chapter number 3 is the destination. I embraced my journey and where I've come from, and even though I've had a eternally ready, I let the journey surprise me. And recently, 2-3 years back, embraced where I've come from and how my upbringing was and how my childhood traumas were, or who I was and who I am, and physically, mentally, what kind of person I am. And I think even though I have an eternally ready, always had an eternally ready that this is what I want to do, I think I've tried to accept the journey at this point, except just to go with the flow. Again, another cliche thing. But it has helped me a lot in my projects. You know how. And because I enjoyed the journey, because I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now, even though I might have some idea of some goals that are there for future, whether or not I've enjoyed the destination, that's like the final thing, then really matters. I enjoyed the people I've met along my journey. I've enjoyed the places I've been to. I've enjoyed the dogs I'm petting. I've enjoyed the conversations I'm holding. I'm enjoying whatever I'm doing. It doesn't matter if I become more successful, less successful. It doesn't matter. What I'm enjoying is this. And then I keep on creating. And then I've been creating. And then what I've been creating is being loved by people. At least for now. I don't know what will happen. So this philosophy shapes everything I do as an artist or a designer. Whether it's sketching innumerable pieces for a Ramayana project, this particular one we designed for Fool.co. This is like a big gift box during Diwali, and they wanted the entire Ramayana illustrated on it. It was inspired by Patachitra and a little bit of my own style. So when I was sketching for this thing, when I was ideating on it, I talked to as many people as I can. But what people? How many of you have seen like Ramayana, like the people who perform Ramayana in like villages, in like small villages? You have seen? Wonderful. You used to perform? Wonderful, very nice. Where are you from? Ayodhya. Oh, then to make sense. Yeah, many people here also. Have you seen Ramayana? It's beautiful how they do it. I think the craft is very beautiful. Because their dresses, the way they address, the language also, it's beautiful. I've talked to them. To understand why it's so important for them. It might not be for anybody. My inclination can also be different from what kind of work I'm doing. That doesn't matter. But when I take up a project, I want to know the soul of it. I want to know why people are doing it. So I went to all these theatre people, I talked to them, I understood how they do the makeup, where do they source their clothes from, because they don't have high-end big budgets like us. It's like how you have also been doing, maybe you're doing theatre, and then sometimes you don't have the budget and you have to do the jugaad. And then you do something of that status or that grand, and you don't have the budget. How do you manage these things and how do you still culturally make it relevant? I saw the entire Ramayana by Ramanand Sagar. Why? I had so much on the internet, I would have just put it on paper. To see what his perspective was, to see how they achieved what they achieved, because it was a culturally big move. Pop culture has also created big waves. So much so that right now also people compare it with movies nowadays. How? What was so different about it? I have read the entire Ramayana. I have tried reading the entire Ramayana. I do that, I'm very stupid like that. But very curious. And there are versions of Ramayana. So that I did. This one particular project that you see here, you'll see more details in the coming slides. It's basically like a honey, Himalayan honey. So one of our clients, Shunya India from Himachal. What they do is very interesting. interesting. All their products are super interesting. So this honey that you see here, you know how they harvest it? They harvest it 9,000, 10,000 feet above the sea level. And basically there are a few tribes living on these mountains 9,000, 10,000 feet above the sea level. And what they do is they basically get like a pre-cut trunk, a dead one, they cut it like a cross section, like this 4 tiles or 5 tiles big, and then they make it outside, like 2-inch thick, this just like the cover of it. After that, what they do, they put a lot of clay on both the sides. They close the entire thing. So it's like a container. Okay? Then they put like a small hole in it at the center, and then they send bees inside that. And that is where they make all this honeycomb structure, and then for 3-4 months, 5-6 months, they leave it like that. They close that hole with like clay only. And once that is done, they open both the sides and then start removing the honeycomb structure. That is how they harvest the honey. I have heard about it and I was like, oh, this is very strange. He sent me pictures and I was like, I want to visit this. I want to see how this happens. When I visited, I couldn't see the making of it, but I could see those logs, like many logs, and that is how they do it. So I found the process to be very mystical, very magical, Because I have always been seeing honeycomb structures on the trees or somewhere on buildings or somewhere like, those boxes and all that. This was very magical and mystical for me something. And mystical is the right word. And that's why we wanted to do the packaging also that way. And because it's coming from the nature, it's coming from the Himalayas, the entire visual language is inspired by that. So mystical, magical, that green, that all that we combine together and make that. So this was some of the illustrations that we made. Lots of scenes, 7, 8, some scenes for which we can find it, created them on our own. References or the people that we talk to. ऐसे बोलो, fine, पक्का? Hi, NID. Good 5 years. Hello. So yeah. Oh, they're recording it, of course. So not imagining that. Sorry. This is like a dry fruit box that we designed for this brand called NID from Delhi. It's an old brand. The actual brand is DRB Foods, which was founded in 1881. The great grandfathers of the clients whom I'm talking to right now. They've been doing the dry fruit business for a very long time, legacy. And then these two sisters, wonderful founders, amazing personality, I absolutely love them. They started Nativities. And they've been doing some wonderful work. So when we were designing their Diwali collection, the idea was to get inspired by India. Again, like what I generally do, basically that only. But basically what I wanted to show is not the mythology or the things that I generally have been doing for other brands, but basically the India, the traditions. They gave me this tagline that times change, traditions don't. I'll make you understand it well. Diwali, Onam, Pongal, any other Marathi, Gudi Padwa, these festivals are going to be there. The way we celebrate it, that might change. Right? So how grand you might have celebrated it when you were a kid, it might not be the same right now. You might just wear like traditional clothes and and then just go meet friends and that's all. But the festivals are going to be there. So times change, traditions don't, that was the theme. So what we did is we got inspired by the idea of India. They wanted to put things from different places because their catches come from somewhere, their almonds come from somewhere, their other peppers come from somewhere. So there are a lot of places that we can get inspired by. And that is when we decided to put a lot of illustrations from all these places. So you have South, you have Central India, you have Rajasthan, Northern India, you also have Northeast, you have Bengal region of it. So illustrations are inspired by that. And that entire thing was then translated to the diyas that we made, the playing cards that we made, the games that we made, the jars that we made, a lot of other things. Then we animated it a little slowly and steadily. The music was also inspired by bits and pieces of India and India. campaign was also done like that. The people who we were taking as influencers or ambassadors were also picked like that, so that it caters to an entire India. And they didn't want to show any face, human, so that's why you'll only see like hands, you'll only see like, you don't know who is doing that. You just know like somebody celebrating it. So this is an interesting project. 1 month we start Studio Modak, okay? May, June is when we get a call. My friend from Mumbai, he does this very niche thing. He's an architect, and basically he has been designing vanity vans for celebrities. Vanity vans, that's all he does. So there's a lot of celebrities in contact. And he just called me, he's like, I have this client who has very specific requirement, who I think you can fulfill very nicely. So you let me know if you're interested. I'm like, yeah, I'm interested. He's like, she'll call you, talk to her, I'll try to understand what she does, and see if you can do it. And I try to ask him who this is, and he's like, no, you just talk and understand. And this lady calls me after half an hour. I'm talking to her, okay, understanding the way. She's like, okay, there's this wedding happening, and there are like a lot of VVIPs, and we're going to give them something. We have this idea of what we want to give, we just don't know how to put it in picture. So they wanted to get inspired by the Saat Vachan, the 7 promises in Indian Hindu weddings, etc. So they had this very clear idea that they wanted to get inspired by that. I asked her every little detail of, okay, that you want, how do you want it, what's the budget, everything. And then I cut the call. I was like, okay, let's see. I'll make a plan and I'll get back to you. One thing I forgot to ask is, who am I making this for? Who are we working for here? I didn't even ask her name. Everything happened, and that happens when you are very young or starting a studio and everything. You don't know, like you get excited, oh, there's a project coming in, oh, like we do this, oh, this is in my category. And then I call her back. She picks up and I'm asking her, and she's like, okay, I'm taking in confidentiality. It's for the Ambanis. And she refused to tell the name also on that call. Eventually I got to know, of course, that's not the case. Okay. But then we worked for the Ambanis. We made this book made out of silver. It was made in Jaipur by the artisans. And we made a few of them. We didn't take the responsibility of the delivery and everything. We gave to the artisans and we were like, we have to coordinate. So that's one book is again, all the pages inside are also made out of silver. So inside we have a lot of illustrations for every vachan, for every promise, which I can't share, of course. But yeah, this was an interesting project. So while making this, I think I talked to a lot of people, my parents, my best friend, everybody. I just asked this one question. They have 7 days. They gave me 7 days. Should I take it up or not? Because if I make it, it will be the project of my life. If I don't make it, it will be the project of my life. Both the cases, no? And everybody was like, don't take it. And I realized one thing after finishing the project, that every time, what happens to us creatives, at some point everybody will believe in you. We stop believing in ourselves. That happens to all of us. Your friends will tell you you're so good, your family will tell you, your faculty will tell you, and you will always doubt yourself. You'll always undermine yourself. So that was the learning from this book. Then nitty-gritties again. You have seen the Diwali collection. This was the Rakhi collection. What they told was, again, the tagline is same time, same traditions, and here we were dealing with Rakhi, Raksha Bandhan. What they wanted to do was a very modern, contemporary thing, something apart from what we have done for Diwali. So that's why you see like a very different, style and body of work, etc. And when we were discussing the brief and the project, the main idea of the vision that came into our minds, because like she's also as young as me. So we had this one person to look up to for the visual language that we wanted to achieve, which was Wes Anderson. Have you seen Wes Anderson's films? Very nice, like, colors are very nice. I'm not going to talk about the symmetry, because if you have done the exact same thing of what he does, translated to visual design, then there's no essence of Studio Modak or nitty-gritties there. And that was what was the inspiration behind the illustration, the packaging, whatever we have done inside and all that. Then another project, this was a series of projects, Fool.co, the company I was working with before I started my own studio. We collaborated with a lot of temples, Kedarnath, Badrinath, Bodh Gaya, lots and lots of temples and mosques. And basically what they do is take these temple-based flowers, what we call as nirmala, recycle and make it into incense sticks, leather, chloroform, etc. and all these things. So for them, I designed like a lot of temple packaging, like Kedarnath, they also designed, Badrinath, they also designed, Bodh Gaya. So all of them, like a lot of them across India. This was another client from Bangalore. The name is Kisan Sale. And basically what they do is very basic, okay? It's like a grocery store, but a little different concept. What they do is, they take products from each and every part of India. We are in Gujarat. Bharuch, you all know about Bharuch? It's nearby. When you come to Ahmedabad, you will find it along the way. In Bharuch, you get very nice peanuts. Bharuch is known for peanuts. So if you order peanuts, you'll get them from Bharuch. If you order kesher, saffron, you'll get it from Kashmir. So everything that they do, they get it from all these places. That was Kisan Sale, the concept of Kisan Sale. So we made a lot of series of illustrations for the print and digital, etc. And this is one of the illustrations that we made. Basically, where we have taken this decision of putting a lot of things in a single picture because we wanted to use this on the web and for the gift boxes also. So you'll see LIC or this is LIC from Idukki, Kerala. This is how almond trees look like. This is like walnut and here is saffron. Practically speaking, geographically and like it's not possible. Sometimes you have to take these decisions looking at the people you are catering to and looking at the communication that you want to carry forward. A lot of decisions making along the way while you are working on the project. This was a very interesting project. We didn't get like a very good as how much people love our other projects. This is my favorite one. So, anybody from Mumbai here? Okay, a lot of people. Do you know about this brand called the Good Bowl? Have you ever tried it? They're also one of our clients. So basically, Good Bowl is the same people. You might have tried Lunchbox or Wendy's. Wendy's ka Indian, they are only running. They are like a parent company. So Good Bowl is one of our clients. The idea was they've been serving food in these plastic bowls, like the black with the transparent lid and all that. So they wanted some new ideas, some campaigns, and how can we make it more interactive for people, how can we make it more sustainable, etc. So we gave them a lot of ideas for the campaign. Very interesting ideas, okay? So first of all, okay, the first solution was we'll take paper bowls, okay? We couldn't get any other solution recycled and all that because it was smelling very bad, a lot of other issues. I was not doing the thing, I hired somebody who was doing the product design and something, because I'm not a product designer. I could at least give some third-person opinion on that. But paper bowls was the final thing. Now the main thing is the campaign that we designed for it. So we gave around 30 ideas, and 3 of them they shortlisted and 1 of them they finalized. So what happens on these bowls is you will see lots of names here. Solar bowl, cryptic fusion, again solar bowl, bowl style. Okay, solar bowl, what happens is basically on solar bowl, when you order something, okay, on the bowl you find what do you call it? Okay. And then basically there's a QR code. You have to scan that QR code. It will lead you to a website or web page. You have to solve that riddle. And just as you solve it, you get basically a coupon code. Either give you a discount or make your other 2 meals free, next 2 meals free. So it's basically to make people connect with the brand. What happens is when something of that sort happens, either you put it on social media, which is like the worst, like it's not like everybody's going to do it, 1 or 2%, but at least we'll tell you a friend. It's like word of mouth publicity. So that cryptic music is another one, where basically what we did is we had Morse code written there. Okay. You all know Morse code? You have to again scan, go on that website, crack what the Morse code says, and you see the exact same thing. But then we had Gold Star, which was one of the campaigns, which was finalized by these guys. Basically, what the concept was, you're ordering food, let's say, they'll see, because you have your idea and everything, they'll see who ordered the most of the bowls in that particular month, let's say February. And then that person will get featured on the next month's bowl as a bowl star. They become the brand ambassador of that bowl. this was a fantastic, beautiful concept, because now you see people like you and me become the ambassadors and not some celebrity or anybody else. That is also where I think a lot of strategy, graphic design and these ideas come into picture. So again, adapting. I had a completely different idea. Have you ever seen the KFC artist collaboration campaign where a lot of artists collaborated with KFC and you saw like a lot of illustrated bowls. There was this campaign. Later on, if you are interested, you can search about it. The first idea was that, and eventually it became this. So this was about adapting, I think. This was the honey that I talked about. I think I put it only to show you the packaging and all that. I think I talked about the story of those things. This is how the honey looks, the packaging looks. This is the entire collection that we designed for them in the last 3-4 months. We are working on a few more packaging and products for them. But a very interesting set of products. I'm going to go one by one. This you see here is cold brew by Shunya, that is hot brew. Cold brew is basically like a powdered format. You get like all these sachets, and then basically you take like a glass of water, you put one sachet in it, mix it, your cold brew is ready. And then there the hot ones are basically like tea or tisana. You dip it and then you make tea for yourself. You can use honey on either of these. This is an interesting concept. This is called a bento box layout. Basically, what you do is you make green coffee and latte. This is a green coffee and latte box. Okay. Now all the things inside here are coffee and latte, but they don't contain any caffeine. So what's there? There's mushroom, there's dandelion, there's chicory fruits, there's a lot of flowers and turmeric. So very pure lattes, they're very good for your health apparently. So very interesting products, and everything is coming from Himalayas. And then that's the entire package in what like all of these things come. It's celebrates the Himalayas, where they're coming from. It's available on the website if you want to check. So at Studio Modak, the design studio that I founded, they created everything from dry fruit boxes inspired by India's landscape to branding that reflects unique identities. There's this soda brand which we are launching in the coming months. It's called Misfits. It's India's first prebiotic soda. They have a lot of flavors coming in. I'm not sharing a lot of things about that because it's not launched yet. But basically, we've designed a lot of things. And each project is like building a sandcastle on the shore. Have you ever built like a sandcastle on the shore, like on the beaches? How many of you built like a sandcastle? They are proudly true. Yeah? When you build it, anybody wants to build a sandcastle on the shore? It's like, no, you don't want to build. You do? You don't want to build? You? Chance, yeah. But we all know one thing, the people who have not built, the people who have built, the people who have built, we know this one thing. It's not going to stay. It's never going to stay. A wave will come, wash it away. Wow, I try and do it. That was not planned, I'm not kidding, sorry. But you know it's not going to stay. But you know what you enjoy? The journey. Making it with your friends or by yourself. It's like meditation for you. You know? And while you're making it, everybody, even small kids, will know that it's going to get destroyed. It's going to just go away. Nothing will stay. Nothing. Not in the foundation. Nothing will stay. You won't even know which sand was it. But you still do it. Because there's a joy. And I think we're left doing that. We're not building enough sandcastles on the shore. We're just looking at building things which need to last forever so that we can become legends. No, legends never care about if it will stay or not. They care about the journey and the process of the people they meet along the way. It's just like building a sandcastle on the shore. So, of course, life comes with a lot of lemons, hurdles, and people who just want to poke you when you are fully immersed into something. It's always going to happen, no matter who you are, where you come from, what you do. But that's basically how a road trip is, right? It's not always going to be a 6-lane highway to the destination you want to go to. It's going to be a bumpy road, it's going to be on mountains, it's going to go through the rivers and whatnot. It's going to be a road which is very unpredictable. So, rather, it's going to be like full of surprises, good or bad. So, I think enjoying that journey or enjoying that route should always be the goal. Chapter number 3 is the climax. reaching the destination, remember this isn't your last trip. This isn't your last project that you're working on. This isn't the last journey that you're having. This isn't the last relation that you're making. It's a journey. So, as I prepare to teach at a lot of universities, I want to share this with young designers. It's not about creating something that lasts forever. It's never about that. I stopped thinking that it's going to stay. In fact, I think that, okay, the client can change their mind at any point and cancel the entire thing and be like, no, I'm not going to launch it. And that has happened a lot of times. It's about finding joy in the process, learning from the experience and growing with every step along the way. And when you do that, nothing's going to stop you. The destination's not going to stop you. Because you're enjoying where you're going, who you're meeting, what you're doing, and everything that you're learning from that. So don't give up on your ideas. Yeah. It's like your baby. Don't give up on your ideas. Why I can say that is Studio Modak was Modak in 2020. It was a t-shirt merchandising brand. I gave up on it for the 3 years of my life. 4 years actually. Because I couldn't see the future. And eventually when I saw I converted it to a studio, I still don't know if it's going to be successful or not. Eventually if I'm going to get more projects or not. But I think what I'm doing right now, I'm enjoying it. I think that might also be the reason why you guys are here, right? If at some point you're also enjoying what I'm doing. And if you don't know, you want to know what I'm doing. So I'm making some sense in the society, I guess. Hopefully. So, embrace the impermanence. There's a beauty in it. Adapt to challenges and celebrate the act of creating. That's where the magic truly lies. Thank you for being such a great audience. I hope apart from my work, the journey that I've gone through and I'm living right now also inspires you a little. I think we can do a little bit of questions and answers. And I'm going to be alone. Yeah, any questions? I'm really good at questions. Okay, yes.
So, like, after coming to NID, basically, मेरा मतलब personally ऐसा है कि I think the curiosity got lost in a way कई तरीकों में. But like मेरे को लगता था painting is the thing, and I thought sketching is the thing, and I thought animation is the thing. Right now जब आपने बोला था कि क्या curiosity है, I'm not sure what it is. So like, how do you bring it back? Because जैसे आप बता रहे हो, impermanence है, failures है, how do you cope with it?
There was this very beautiful learning from a friend who's like a sports person, okay? बहुत beautiful. I think I keep on sharing it everywhere I go because वो philosophy it's so good. I'm sorry. The philosophy is so good that it stayed with me and it changed my life. Okay? I hope it helps you. So this friend of mine is a runner and a swimmer, and they've done state level. They want to go to national level. They want to go international also. They're trying. A lot of times he also gets injured. A lot of times, minor injury, major injury, everything. I've seen him doing this one thing over the time, and he also told me very nicely, he, no matter whatever the injury is, if it's minor, he'll still go practice in the ground. He'll still go swim. If it's a major one, he'll take the break to heal, he'll get back. And when I asked him, like, you're doing engineering now, you're an engineer now, there's no like, I don't think we'll ever get back to this. Why are you still doing it? So he said, I don't know what it is, but someday if I get a chance somewhere, some opportunity, I'll be prepared. I connected that philosophy somehow to this one thing that if sports people, how many of you play sports, any kind of sports? You do? What do you play? Football, wonderful. Squash, very nice. Basketball, wonderful. The thing about sports people that I really like is they'll keep on doing it. They'll keep on doing things. They'll keep on doing their thing. Injury हो गया, hero they कर लेंगे. Minor injury, they do it. They have selected a different field, they'll still play. You play basketball here? You still play football, you still play squash. You don't need to play. But they do. And I think we lack that, creative people lack that, you know why? Because we have this very weird thing which we call as an art block. It's a concept, simple. It's created by the creative industry. आप बस enjoy रहे हो. I feel like if you're not getting the ideas, if you're not feeling that same energy now, you should keep on doing small things. It's okay. You don't have to be 100% perfect. If you try today, you might play for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Did that ever happen that you're tired or you're sick but you still wanted to play and you still went to play? That happened? Did that happen with you? Did that happen with any other sports person? Creative people don't like it. I also don't do that. मैं तुम्हें नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, बहुत लोगों के साथ it happens with a lot of people. We are like creative block आ गया, and then we don't even pick up a pencil. Why not? You don't have to always have to be 100% perfect. You don't have to. You just wanna, do it. I think if maybe you just keep at it, I think you'll get back there. Just keep on exploring. That's what I've done. It has happened to me. It happens to a lot of people. And Christoph Niemann, Abstract Sunday, illustrator, graphic designer. You know about him? Wonderful. So there's a episode in Abstract on Netflix on him. He says the same thing.
It's a job basically.
Exactly. You go sit and do your thing. You go sit on your desk. 100% you do your thing. That's all. You keep on doing your thing. So I think that's the same thing. And it's your journey, my friend. I can't give you all the answers. Yeah.
Yeah, so not a question, but when you were here on campus, there was a thing that you said to me, and I just wanted everyone else also to hear about that thing from you. It was about, it's a good thing, it's good. It was about dreams and seeing those dreams, that even if you are gone one day, those dreams still keep on living in others. That's it.
Very,
You were told me that.
I still believe in that philosophy.
I just wanted everyone else to listen about that from you.
And that thing about dreams also and ideas also. If you don't work on your idea, if you don't even try, your idea is gonna go to somebody else. It happens. And then a lot of times we say, the ideas are like that. If you abandon them, they'll abandon you. It's two-way street. Same goes for dreams also. I'll add to that. I think dreams are a very beautiful concept, Like, sometimes not everybody will believe in your dreams. Sometimes not everybody will look at the vision that you have. And not sometimes, it happens most of the times. And imagine you also leaving that beautiful thing, that idea, that dream behind. And then it just vanishes because you never worked on it. Or you never tried to achieve it. It's just a sad thing, right? So I think we'll talk about more about that philosophy. I think it's a longer conversation. But yeah, I think I can call myself a design philosopher now. Yeah. Yes. Any other question? I did architecture for a year, and because I was good in drawing and because I've been building things. I told you about the bamboo stick, kulfi stick thing, right? So a lot of people kept on telling me, "Oh, you're good at art, you could do drawing." I think a lot of people here, at least some will have this because you were good at drawing. Your parents or somebody might have suggested that you can do architecture. Did that ever happen to any of you? Yeah, that happens. That happens. That happens, right? So that happened, and I joined architecture. And I did good because I think first year in architecture is basically foundation. There also material exploration, you also do material explorations and whatnot. Very fun activities. So my CGP was good, everything was good. Eventually, it didn't make me happy. That is for architecture. And that's why I dropped out and then came prepared for this again and then came in here. And now I think I'm happy. That is the same thing that goes for politics. I've always been a good speaker. And everybody was like, you should get into politics. And I come from Maharashtra. I understand politics very well. I've always been interested in it. I don't think it's my thing. I'm very kind. Very empathetic. I feel very sensitive. I cry a lot. I don't think politicians can do that. So, a lot of suggestions like that. People keep on telling you to do things here. A lot of people keep on telling you to do things. Take science, it will be easier. Prepare for IITs, join Akash, IIT Zone, go to Kota, do this, do that. That is what I meant. Sometimes your intuition, sometimes the time will tell you what you really want to do. It's okay if you have done something for your bachelor's, or for the time being you're doing something that somebody told you. Journey. Things happen at a pace. Okay. So I want to become a billionaire someday. That I can do farming and just paint and not worry about bills and whatnot, and loans and whatnot. But I think I'm not going to rush into it. There are multiple ways to do it. You can still join politics. Take it. But I think it's a journey. So never do something that people tell you to do. Find your way. Take your time. It's going to work out. I'm still figuring it out. Okay. Yeah.
You were talking about how you keep exploring the things. So what is something new that you are actually exploring?
Singing. I've always wanted to sing, and it sounds horrible, but I've got very bass, very rough, rugged voice. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I'm like, I can't sing some songs. Yeah. When you hear me sing Pratik Kaur songs, it's a nightmare. But there are certain songs which suit my voice, so I'm trying exploring that. I want to learn classical singing. I want to learn to play a sitar. Not of the Rishabh Sharma, that guy. I've always wanted to learn it because I've been doing a lot of work in history, mythology, culture, etc. So I've always wanted to do that. But singing is something that I've been trying nowadays. Let's see where we go. Yeah. Anything else?
Can we hear you sing?
No. I'm trying as it. No. So you guys are recording. Just you seeing. How many people are there? Is it live?
There are like around 5 people now.
Thank God. That's what So YouTube है ना time.
Where did we post it there?
Community. Ask next question. Yeah.
I want to explore many things, but I can't do anything.
I feel you.
What should I do?
Just do it.
बहुत सारी चीजें हैं करने को, but वो कुछ नहीं रहा है.
तुम कर रहे हो, ट्राई कर रहे हो.
ट्राई तो कर रहा हूँ, but हर जगह प्रोग्रेस, हर जगह थोड़ा, but कुछ हो ही नहीं रहा है.
थोड़ा प्रोग्रेस तो हो रहा है ना दोस्त. You said it. Why do we always look for 100%, my friend? Why do we always look to become, if you're singing, I want to become Arjit Singh only. When you dance, when you be Remo D'Souza only. Or any other dancer, I'm sorry, I don't know. Or when you become an artist, you want to be Van Gogh only. It's fine. It's a journey. I think you keep on doing it, and that's a good thing you're doing a lot of things. You know, eventually in 3-4 years while you're doing it, you leave a lot of things, deliberately also and unknowingly also. Like, this is not my thing, it's not my cup of tea, this is my thing, I'm going to practice on it. And along the way you'll get better. I've been drawing since I was 4 or 5 years. And now I have some clarity, okay, this is my thing. sometimes I'm like, okay, nahi farming. Nice, very nice. Acting, करने का. So I think we all are on a journey. So I'm not so old to tell you कि नहीं ये करो वो करो. But I feel doing it will give you a lot of that. Don't again. What's that? Again, I'm not very old to give you a lot of wisdom and just a little older than me, that's all. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah. Why would it happen? Yeah. No, you get better at the next. You didn't put enough fuel in your car. The fuel ended. Next journey you will put enough fuel in your car. That's like a learning. You had a flat tire. You'll put a stepney in your car. So everything is learning. It will never affect that journey. You are this time in this thing you are 70% there. Next time you are 75% there. Next time you are 85% there. But it's not going to be always 100%. Every journey will give you some learning. That makes sense? Wonderful. Yes. Last three questions. Otherwise I'm not. Yeah. Anything? Nobody will judge you. While exploring things, I think you really need to make a plan. You really need to make a strategy. Attention span and our expectations from the society and from ourselves. Sometimes we are beating ourselves up a little too much. So again, it's not a blame on you, it's blame on the society, the popular culture, what we are looking at, and how they're sharing the stories, and this hustle culture. You have to work hard, you have to work hard, you have to work hard. Yeah, we all know. It's not actually working hard, it's about consistency. You have to work enough. Work hard, 12 घंटे काम करते हैं. Oh, I didn't sleep today, I didn't sleep last week, I only slept for 3 hours. Sad. I'm boosting it. You should work enough. Because there's so much to do. There's life to live. And happiness doesn't come from how much money you earn or how many connections you make or how much you buy or how much you get in life. I think it comes from a lot of other smaller things. What are you doing it for? Whatever you want to do. You never ask ourselves that. That's how you have to think. That's your answer. Do it for somebody, do it for something. And then I think the plan is better. You're just working hard. You're just not sleeping. Why? सब लोग करते थे. My senior told me. He was not capable of doing it in 8 hours. You can be. Try to finish it in 8 hours. Sleep enough, explore enough, talk to people. So again, never follow what people ask you for. Think yourself. Sometimes I want to sleep 8 hours. Sometimes 10 hours. Afternoon nap also I take. I keep my this thing safe so that I can then create produce ideas, right? Otherwise, how will I? So don't worry, yeah. वो जो hustle culture है ना, it's our generation only who can, keep it aside. Work enough, that's all. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Wonderful. Last. Yeah.
At what point did you realize this was not because there are multiple interests.
Yeah.
Because you explore a lot, so you get like this. So when do you come to the conclusion that this is my
Okay. I think there's no conclusion yet, okay? I'm along the way I've learned this thing. When I was here also, when I was working on my projects, design projects, assignments and everything, I connect the dots now. There's this very nice speech of Steve Jobs from this some college of convocation, where he tells about this one thing. It's about connecting the dots while you're moving ahead. So I connected the dots because I keep on updating my portfolio. I saw this thing that my assignments, my design projects, everything was very India inspired. Not just culture. I worked on substance abuse in India. I worked on the great textile strike mills in Mumbai. I worked on the wooden toys from Sawantwadi in Konkan region. So everything that I have always been doing since I was a kid or since I was here also, it has been in India. And it wasn't like along the way because cool thing worked and that's why I'm doing everything India inspired. It's not that because I also felt that if you're cool wala work, that's why I think I'm doing this. But I've always been doing these things. I've also worked on a graphic novel inspired by the life of Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj. You have seen it, right? So, Chala where everything is coming now. So, a lot of things I've been doing, I've always been inspired by India because my upbringing was like that. I traveled with my parents a lot, but only in India. South India, North India, everywhere and all that. I've only been listening to stories. I told you I've been hanging out with kids from the villages. So I can connect the dots now. So along the way also I think I'll figure it out. But I think by this time I think I've always loved doing that. And that's why I'm still doing it now. In a little different way. Future I don't know. You become an investor, stock trader, so much money there. But yeah, I think that's all. That was the last question. I'm going to be around tonight. So if you're from NID, thank you for coming, guys. Thank you for coming, guys. If you're from NID, I'm here. I'll be in the BBC, I'll be in the studio, etc. We can always interact. But thank you so much. You guys have been wonderful audience. I hope this helps. I think it's not a game, it's like this activity. So you will know, speaker thing. Yeah. Have you seen it? Last year we did in workshop. Let's try. Okay. But if you don't participate, now मेरा पोपट हो जाएगा. You have to participate. So basically, when we were here, I was in NID. I don't know if Tejas will remember it or not. We had this guy called Samvit Pradhan. Yeah. He is in UID right now. We used to do this thing called K. They're all theatre people. I'm a theatre person. And basically, this thing is called, do you all want to get up?